Hi everyone, Trio Beauty here, and today I'm going to show you how I get fleeky brows. I'm going to show you how to fill them in, what I usually do, how I usually clean up my brows. So yeah, if you would like to see how I transform these brows into fleeky brows, please keep on watching. Right, I think that's a good space. So first and foremost, before I even fill my brows in, I'm going to tell you how I usually clean them up, what I do to groom them. So I usually go and get them threaded. I know any brown girls out there know that threading is the best way. I usually break out, like I get lots of pimples and stuff. My skin is super sensitive, so I can't do any waxing and stuff like that. Especially plucking is super difficult for me. So I usually get threading done because I get less irritation that way, and it only hurts for a little bit and then comes out with this. Obviously these are super bare. They're pretty thin, but they're the shape I like. But once you fill them in, you'll get something nice, know what I'm saying? Alright, so before I start off to show you how I fill in my brows, I use, for right now, I use, like I've shown in my past videos, my Anastasia Dip Brow in medium brown. The thing to keep in mind is, when I went into Sephora and I asked the girl there what's the best color for me, she said a shade higher. I think it was dark brown or something like that. But then she looked at my hair, and my hair is, I have highlights, and she said, okay, because your hair, I'm gonna give you medium brown. I'm happy she gave medium brown either way, because my eyebrows are pretty light compared to my hair color. My hair color is naturally like really black. So I'm happy that she gave me medium brown, because even if my hair was black, I could still use this pomade because I have naturally light brows. If you have naturally thick brows, then it's better to get a darker color for your brows. But for me, because I have pretty light brows, it's better to get something just a little bit darker to enhance the color, not darken it. So go in just a little bit more. I use any eyebrow brush. I usually like to use one that has a spoolie at the end and a brush on the other end. I usually use this Tarte eyebrow brush. I know Tarte doesn't have that many. I think this is like the only one that they have with the spoolie at the end. So what I like to do is, let me just get a mirror real quick. I usually like to look just a little bit like, if I were to just do it without filming, I would just look at it like this, tilt my head a little bit up, and then fill in from there. But as just a tip for you guys if you guys are just starting out. So what I like to do is, obviously the usual is to brush the eyebrow hairs up. I usually like to start from the bottom, not the top. Just brush them up. Now, if anybody knows the Anastasia pomade, y'all know that this is like super like pigmented, so a little goes a really long way. So what I like to do is, I just like to tap a little bit, just a little bit on my brush, just a little bit. I'm gonna start from the bottom, but I'm gonna go with a super light hand. So super light, I'm just gonna go like that and go to the end of my brow. There was not much of a difference there, but you can see that there's a clear line here. And what I like to do right after that is I like to brush the hairs up. So up, 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 up. Sorry, I said brush the hairs. I mean brush the product up. Brush the product up. Now because there wasn't that much product on the brush, I don't like to take a lot of product at first because I like to build my way up. If I take too much, then it would ruin the brow. So I'm just going to just fill it in because I have a little bit more product. The brow appears a whole lot darker. Go all the way to the end. And now for the beginning here, if you notice, I didn't really put that much product here because you want this part to look light. You want a sort of a gradient to go with your brows. You don't want just one huge block. Don't do that, okay? Please don't. So I'm just gonna take whatever's left, and if there's not that much left, I'm just gonna dip it in the pomade just a little bit more. But I'm just gonna push up again. Up. Okay, I usually just like to go towards the end. I'm gonna do the top now, and when I finish the top, then if I see that this is not, if this looks a little bit too choppy like it does now, I'm just gonna fill it in again once I get to the end. So I'm just gonna brush down, and then I'm gonna take a little bit more product. Wow, that was really squeaky. The same amount that I took the first time to go under, I'm gonna take the same amount to go over. So I'm just gonna start from the top here. Start from the top here, and then just lightly swipe all the way to the end. I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna follow right here to find that shape. I'm gonna go follow right to the bottom. This, however, comes with lots and lots of practice, and even I mess up a lot, but it's just a work in progress. You gotta know what your eyebrow shape is and how you like it. So I feel like I went a little bit too much at the top here. At the top I don't really like it, but I'm gonna brush my eyebrow hairs up. And then because there's a little bit left over here, I'm gonna push that up. I'm gonna brush it up. Now for this eyebrow, personally, this part does not like to take product, like at all. It never does. So I'm just gonna take a little bit more and darken that end. Just gonna take a little bit more and just go like that. So now it's filled in. Just clean it up a little bit like that to give me a nice arch. Alright, so I usually never just fill in my brows like that. I always use concealer to clean them up. But I don't really like how the bottom's looking because it looks a little bit choppy here. I'm just gonna go over it. There we go. That looks better. Now cleaning up the brows are, for me, what make them pop and what make them look really fleeky. So I'm gonna go in with my Tarte Shape Tape in Tan Sand, and I'm gonna use just a concealer brush like this. Well, you can see from here. I'm gonna use a concealer brush like this that can easily, you know, clean up without getting in the eyebrows. I'm gonna take just a little bit from the applicator. Just a smidge, just a little touch. I'm gonna leave that there just in case I need more. And I'm gonna go, and I'm not gonna go anywhere above where I filled my brows. I'm just gonna go right under to clean them up. And then I'm just gonna bring it down. And for here, it just looks a little bit like too low, like how it's kind of going in. I want it to look like kind of just like a line. So I'm just gonna clean that up a little bit more. Cool. And then I'm just gonna take my eyebrow brush and brush it up. The hairs, once again. I don't want to brush here too much because this part doesn't take product. I want to make sure I don't touch that, or else it will just take the product off. I'm gonna go in again with a little bit more concealer and do my brows up from the top. Now, I said before that I kind of went in a little bit too much on this part. I didn't really like it. So I'm going to use my concealer again just so I can clean that up and pretty much erase it without taking off your entire brow. So I'm just going to go in. I'm going to kind of go in straight down with the brush. I'm going to look straight into my mirror and really lightly go, and then go against the arch there. And then I'm just gonna bring it forward. Bring it forward. And then I'm just gonna push it out. Push it out. Push it out. Kind of just blend it into my skin. So I see my brow now. I'm gonna brush the hairs up again, see if I need anything else that I would like to change. So for me, for right now, I'm happy with how they look. I like the shape. I'm finished with the brow. Now, if you noticed, I took a lot of time trying to fix what I didn't like, go in again, fix what I didn't like, and go in again. That is how you learn how to get the right brow. You don't just want to go under, over, and fill it in and that's it. That's like your guideline. But obviously you can't just leave it how you don't want it, because your eyebrows frame your face. Just by filling it in and cleaning it up, I have a whole new arch on this brow. Excuse me, on this brow. A whole new arch, a whole new shape. And when you put on foundation and everything, it'll look amazing. Obviously, if this is your bare face and you go bare face, it wouldn't make sense to really do this and clean it up and everything because you look kind of crazy. But it looks really good just like this. So give me a second. I'm going to clean it up so you can see both brows and you can see how different it was. 1, 2, 3. All right. They are done. Both eyebrows are done. I just filled them in off camera. As you can see, they don't look exactly the same. One looks a little bit different than the other. But that's the point when you do your eyebrows. You don't want them to look, you know, as they say, you don't want them to look like identical sisters. You want them to look like sisters. You don't want them to look too different, but you want them to look a little bit similar so then they look related. So I try not to make one eyebrow exactly the same as the other, but I make them quite similar to each other. When you do foundation and everything, it looks 10 times better. When you do eyebrows, it's different for everybody. Some people like using a pencil. I like using a gel, like a pomade, because my brows sometimes, like, the skin around my brows is super like smooth. Like it won't be able to take a pencil properly if I were to use a pencil. If I were to use like a pomade, it would stick better. So that's my preference. It's different for everybody, and also know that eyebrows take lots of time. It's not an easy process. You learn as you go and you end up getting the shape that you like. Obviously, one thing to keep in mind is to get the right color for your hair that matches your face and your hair and everything. Don't just try to get a color you think fits you best. You don't want to go too dark because it might make you look like it'll ruin the whole entire look. So I hope you like this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and please check out my previous videos. And my next video will be testing out this Rimmel London Lasting Finishing 24-Hour Breathable Foundation. I'm going to test it out, see if it's good for my skin, if it is dark girl friendly. So please keep out for that video. Thank you for watching, and come on, be a part of the Shreyu Beauty Squad. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!